Hello, good people of YouTube. Mountbatten here. And today, well, actually on Sunday's video, when we were talking about the Enterprise and how she's back in the shop if you complete the 6 missions for the Leyte Gulf event, you can pick her up for apparently the price of a normal Tier 8 premium ship, which is around 54, 55 US dollars. A quite reasonable price given, how well sought after the Enterprise is. And it was in the comments on that video that I came across a couple of comments pointing out something that is quite true. And it wasn't the guy angry that I didn't know the price of the Enterprise, which wasn't included in the official article talking about the event, which is where you would think the price for this ship would be located at. Instead, apparently Wargaming announced that on Reddit, of all places. So, why not include that in the official article? I don't know. Wargaming makes some interesting decisions at times. But anyway, there were several commenters saying, how crazy it is that we've accepted that, 55, 60-ish US dollars is a completely reasonable price for one digital vehicle in this game, which is, of course, the price of, well, used to be the standard price for most AAA titles, but now that's $70. But point remains, we're paying darn near full retail price for a AAA game for one digital ship in this game, which is a little nuts if you really think about it. Now, of course, there is the very valid argument that this game is free to play. You don't have to buy premium ships, and even I've said, and I still stand by the statement, that some of the single best premium ships in this game are resource ships. Ships like, coal ships and steel ships that, yes, with a little bit of grind, a little bit for the coal ships, a lot of bit of grind for the steel ships, you can get those ships for free. But, yes, the game, of course, has to make money, so items like that have been normalized in our mindset, at least when it comes to World of Warships. And, of course, there are plenty of players out there that have not spent a single dime on this game and have had a fantastic time. I know several of them, but anyway, the point I'm trying to make in this video, or the feature that I'm talking about in this video, is that, Wargaming, we are forking over $60 for Tier 8 premium ships. $80 for Tier 9 premium ships, 80 US dollars, and then $120 for Tier 10 premium ships that are sold outright. So, I think it would be quite reasonable to request from Wargaming that they should add in a feature that other games that are in this same, military vehicle tiered combat genre, free-to-play genre, have included, and that, for the prices that we are paying, we should be able to test drive these ships first. I think that's quite a reasonable request to add. Now, of course, Wargaming is very, very stern when it comes to purchasing and refunding premium ships. If you do buy a premium ship and you want to refund it, you better not have played any battles in that ship, because you've taken it into battle one time. Wargaming will not refund you your money because you've gotten something out of that ship, which, I mean, yeah, you have, and a good part of owning a premium ship is that you are buying it, of course, for the improved economy, so they're very stingy there. And I'm not saying they should let you test drive it into random battles or co-op battles or anything like that. I am simply saying there should be some type of test drive mode where we can just take that ship into what is essentially a training room and just sell it around, get a feel for it, get a feel for the gun angles, get a feel for the guns, and decide whether or not you really want to buy that ship. And of course you might say, well, there's reviews out there on YouTube and on the Discord and such where players can get an idea of what the ship is like. And while sure, that is true, I can tell you there's really nothing better than driving and playing the ship for yourself. And I've said it many times before in a lot of my guide videos. The only way you can really get to know your ship and get better at playing your ship is, of course, driving the ship. Watching someone play it on YouTube can definitely give you a pretty good idea of what that ship is like. And again, watching streams and such as well, yeah, it can give you an idea what that ship is like, but just driving it, just seeing what the turret angles are like for yourself, seeing how it responds, seeing, what the torpedo angles are, seeing how accurate or inaccurate the guns are in the training room, that is something that you can't really get out of a video, right? That's something you have to experience for yourself. And again, I'm not saying, wargaming should you take it into a co-op match or anything like that and, get something out of it, but just a training room where you can see the ship for yourself. And again, other games have done this. War Thunder has had this as part of War Thunder for as long as I've been playing War Thunder. It doesn't matter what vehicle you want to test drive in War Thunder. You can go to the top tier premium vehicle in that nation's particular tech tree, like I did in the background footage here. I went and I found the highest tiered American ground vehicle that you can take into a training room, which turns out is again the very top of the line, the M1A1 Clickbait. You can take it into a test drive, and in the test drive you have some bot tanks that are sitting, some that are moving. You can drive the vehicle for however long as you want to inside of that training room just to see what it feels like and see if you want to pick it up or not. Why can't something like that exist in World of Warships? Again, from Tier 8 on up, we're paying AAA full-on release game prices for these vehicles. And it could even be something like, because Wargaming may say, well, we'll lose out on money. Well, I mean, again, we're paying $60 for these vehicles, Wargaming. It really shouldn't be a problem to let someone take it into a training room and just see what it's like. I mean, even in a training room or in some type of test drive mode where you have some bot ships floating around that are just doing laps around a particular course, letting the players get a feel for the vehicle, that's one thing, right? But it's going to be a little bit different than playing it in random battles, because you can get a feel for how the ship maneuvers, the guns, the rotation speed, the accuracy of the guns, and all that stuff from a simple little test drive mechanic like that. And I think it would even be fair to say that if you want to charge for it like 200 doubloons just to take the ship into a test drive, or if you're paying doubloons for it, really you should be able to play the ship in at least co-op. Some menial number of doubloons, right? 200 doubloons to take the ship into, let's say, 10 battles in co-op, right? You get a little bit of a rental fee out of the ship. You can take it into a co-op match for, again, 10 or 5 or how many rounds Wargaming would think 200 doubloons would warrant. You get a feel for it, and then if you feel like buying it, you can buy it. And Wargaming could even give you a bit of a discount. Well, not really give you a bit of a discount. The 200 doubloons that you pay to rent it for, again, 5 or 10 games. That could be like a down payment, right? And then that would be subtracted from the ship's total costs. And of course, you could crank that up as the tiers get high. A tier, let's say 8 premium, could cost, I don't know. Let's say it's like 10% of the ship's overall cost, right? You can pay that 10% fee to test drive it in a co-op battle for, again, 10, 5, 15, however many battles Wargaming thinks you should get for 10% of the ship's total value. And then within, let's say, a week of paying that rental fee, if you buy the ship, you get that much off of the price. It could be something like that. That way Wargaming is making money off of these, test drives. Or, again, they could just make a whole separate training room-esque test drive that you could, sell around. There could be some bot ships everywhere. Take some shots at them, something simple like that. I think it's quite reasonable to request that when, again, you're paying AAA prices for these ships. And you probably, Wargaming, get more sales out of the player base doing this anyway, because a player may not know if he really wants to drop $80 on a Tier 9 premium ship. He may not. Use the Napoli as an example. Someone may be looking at the Napoli. They don't want to save up the coal for it, but they're interested in maybe dropping the $80 it takes to get the Napoli. So if they can never get a taste for it themselves and get a taste of them juicy Italian secondary guns, they may never pick it up. But if you let them take it on a test drive into a training room, they get an idea of how good the secondaries are, they may turn around and plop $80 down in order to pick up the ship. Now, of course, in that case, I say, just get it for cold, but you guys get what I'm saying, right? It could be a good business move, Wargaming, and I'm sure that most of the player base would greatly appreciate being able to test out these very expensive premium ships before they drop, again, $60, $70, $80, $120 on these ships. So it's something that I just thought about reading through the comments on Sunday's video. I think it's quite a reasonable thing to do. It's something that, again, games like War Thunder have been doing for quite some time. I don't see the harm in letting the players try out the vehicles that, again, they're going to drop $60 on in order to purchase. Because then think about the guy that, buys a ship and he realizes, oh, this is not really what I want, right? It's a terrible, let's say, they buy, I don't know, a Shikishima. And they pick it up, they realize, oh, this isn't really what I was wanting, they didn't really do their research, they got, pretty bad buyer's remorse, now they're out, several thousand crates of steel, right? So, leaves a bit of a bad taste in their mouth, but letting them test drive it beforehand, realizing, okay, maybe this isn't the steel ship that I should have gotten in the first place, right? Maybe something more along the lines of the Mecklenburg is something that I, should spend my steel on. Again, letting them have that test drive would allow them to, fill out what ship they wanted to get in the first place. So I think it would be a very, very nice quality of life improvement for the game if Wargaming would let players do that. And if Wargaming, if you are listening, it's a good idea, in my personal opinion. Don't know why it hasn't been done in the past. I know it's been brought up a couple of times beforehand, but, maybe now's the time to really, really look into it and think about adding it into the game. Again, I think I see it as a win-win for Wargaming. You let players take a test drive on a ship. It allows them to make a more informed buying decision before they buy the ship, and it's a bit of goodwill won over with the community, in my opinion. But who knows? Wargaming may never even think about doing it again. I don't know. I'm just a guy on YouTube sharing my 2 cents. So, guys, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Do you think a test drive, a test sale, I guess I should be saying, is a good idea for the game, or do you think, no, it's fine as is? So if you guys enjoyed, have a wonderful Wednesday, a wonderful rest of your week. Hope to catch you guys in the next one.